Hi, everybody. It's Thursday. I hope this finds you well and trying to find some good things to lift your heart a little bit in this very hard time that people are going through. I was thinking about a story or a time in my life when I lived in a mostly black neighborhood, and Steve and I were living in San Francisco. Everything was very expensive, and we found out we were going to be parents, and Adam was coming, and we didn't know what to do. Steve didn't really have a job. I had a job, but we didn't have much money. But we found a lovely house. A friend had someone that owned a house in a neighborhood over by Candlestick Park. And we loved the Giants, so that was really cool. But this neighborhood was mostly black people. I wasn't sure how we were going to be accepted there, but it was a lovely house, and there were just people from all walks of life and different countries, and it was just quite a bit of diversity there that, I was excited about, but I was apprehensive. I didn't know how we would be accepted in the neighborhood. And to my delight, our neighbors were wonderful to us. And I'm going to tell you a story that kind of showed how giving and loving these people were. One night I was sitting in the rocking chair feeding Adam, and Steve worked very long hours as a resident, but when he came home at night, he was working on a new Volvo, a good one. Our other one, as you know, was quite an eyesore, but this was one he was hoping he could fix up and drive it around with a little more pride in his ride. So he was under the car working on it, and you have to understand, in the neighborhoods, they're very hilly neighborhoods. Our garage, when you drove into the driveway, you had to go up a steep slope, and then when you came into the garage, it kind of flattened out. So he was working on the car, and I was feeding Adam, and I was rocking, and all of a sudden, the whole house just shook. And I thought it was an earthquake, but it was weird. It was just one loud, like, bang. And I looked out across the street, and the car was across the street, and it had hit the house across the street. And I kept staring at it going, what is the car doing across the street? That's weird. And then it hit me that the car had rolled out of the garage. And I thought it had rolled over Steve. And I screamed. And then Adam screamed. I was screaming his name, and then his head popped out of the bathroom. And he said, what was that? And I said, oh my God, you're okay. And I said, the car's across the street. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, the car is across the street. And he came running out, pulling up his pants. And I hadn't seen him come in. And he ran down the stairs. And by the time he got out there, all the neighbors were gathered around and, just very exciting, this commotion. And Steve was just horrified. He didn't know if anybody had been hurt or what had happened. And everybody was like, no, we're fine. Somebody said, well, your car hit my car. And then, of course, it hit this person's house. And, nobody was yelling at Steve or anything. I know some people said, Steve, you need to put a rock or a piece of wood behind so that won't happen. And he's like, yeah, I know. And one guy said, the car that was hit said, oh, it's okay. I can bang my bumper out. It's fine. And the house that was hit, that fellow, after they moved the car, he said, oh, I can put some stucco in there and paint it. Don't worry about it. Nobody wanted to sue us. Nobody asked us for money. It was really remarkable. I've lived in some very expensive neighborhoods, and I've never had that happen. But these people were willing to overlook all those things. They treated us with such kindness while we were there. And I remember when Adam got older, I think he was around 2.5, and breakdancing was a big thing. And all the kids had their little pieces of linoleum out on the sidewalk. Well, they brought Adam a little piece of linoleum, and we're teaching him how to break dance. and he was spinning around. He didn't have the style, but I mean, he loved the music. He loved the dancing. And I remember when we moved, before we had Valerie, we actually moved across the Golden Gate Bridge into Marin County. And, you know, when we got there, Adam looked around and said, "Mom, how come everybody looks like us? I want to see all my friends." And it was a very different environment. So I just am so grateful that I got to live in that neighborhood and experience all these different ethnic backgrounds and be around people of color and see how they would, you know, they didn't judge us because we were white. They helped us. We were their neighbors. And it was beautiful. And that's what I hope we can do for each other. Kind of look past people's skin color or their religions or whatever, and just know that most people want the same things. They just want to be treated fairly, and their kids to be safe and have enough food to eat and a decent job, and that's how it should be. So anyway, I'm trying to look for the good things again. I think when our hearts get really heavy like this, you start to just see, you know, at everything that's wrong, and that's why I've been feeling really depressed. I think I've been starting to kind of hate what's going on, and we're not meant to be. We're not, you know, it's not in our nature to hate. So we have to just keep loving more, doing the best we can. Like they say, I think Maya Angelou said, "Do your best until you know better, and then you do better." And we need to be better, and not make blatant statements about no cop is a good cop, and you know, all blacks are criminals and all whites are racist. And you know, when you paint everybody with a broad brush like that, we're all individuals, and we should be treated the way that we, you know, we need to be judged based on our actions and not what we look like. And so anyway, I'm just sending love and good thoughts, and my heart goes out to all of you. And let's just try to love more. It's the only thing that's going to make everything better. It's the only thing that will resolve all of this, is enough love. So have a good day. Love you.